Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. It's another all new news video that we've got in store for you today. Diving into some of the biggest headlines that are buzzing around the world of football right now. As always though, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things always and forever greatly appreciated. But for now, let's dive into the headlines. First up, we're going to be talking about the explosive winger known as Adama Traore, who's said to be attracting the interest of Tottenham. The Wolves winger, known for his strength and explosive pace, is out of contract at the end of next season, and he is said to be considering his options. There is allegedly a contract on the table at Wolves to extend his stay with the club, but Wolves have said that they need probably an answer soon to decide whether they can cash in on him before he leaves, if he obviously doesn't want to be there for his future. It's also being said that Wolves could cash in on him and possibly make space for the funds and permanent arrival of one Hwang Hee-chan, the South Korean on loan from RB Leipzig, who has impressed upon his loan move to the Premier League side, despite being currently injured, of course. Traore was said to be attracting the interest of Liverpool at one point, and it was in the summer where his price tag was said to be at around the £30 million mark. But with his contract running down a little bit further, it'd be interesting to see if that price tag remains the same or has been cut a little bit due to obviously fear that maybe he is not going to be re-signing with the club and that he does want to move on elsewhere. Adama Traore might just be one name to keep your eye out for in January. Next, we move on to an interesting story developing in the Championship, and could Mike Ashley be returning to football? News broke yesterday that the former owner of Newcastle United is in advanced talks with Derby County's administrators over a £50 million takeover. Obviously, we know about Derby's financial status and struggles in recent times, to the point where, due to bad ownership in recent years, this season has resulted in the club being deducted 21 points this Championship season. However, manager Wayne Rooney is doing an incredible job with the Rams. It's got to be said that he is giving them every possible fighting chance available of managing to achieve something huge and something incredible of staying up this season in England's second tier of football. If everything is to go ahead and a takeover is to be completed by Ashley, whilst it may steady the ship at Derby financially, and maybe at this point that's all they could possibly hope for and wish for, it won't be anything major obviously to get massively excited about in terms of massive financial ownership, because if his previous ownership at Newcastle is anything to go by, he obviously won't be putting too much into it. So it's not massively anything to go by. But like I say, as far as maybe steadying the ship goes, as far as maybe riding the tough waves of financial matters and everything like that, it may be all that Derby could probably wish for. Just probably be prepared and probably expect Pride Park to be turned into the Sports Direct arena going forward if this obviously goes ahead. Getting absolutely plastered head to toe in Sports Direct logos, and probably being pushed to buy some unnecessarily oversized mugs that only take one small spillage for your living room to turn into a swimming pool. So be interesting to see where this goes. Elsewhere, last night saw the kickoff to the third round of the FA Cup, in which Manchester City beat Swindon 4-1. It was a COVID-hit Manchester City squad, but it was a starting 11 that was still very much strong. It was just their bench that looked weak last night, but let's face it, with all due respect, City should have gone on to win this game regardless, and that is exactly what they did. Goals from Bernardo Silva, Gabriel Jesus, Ilkay Gundogan and youngster Cole Palmer managed to see Pep Guardiola's side comfortably sail into the next round of the competition. The draw for the fourth round will be made on Monday night, so you can probably expect City to be getting Scunthorpe's under 15s or something. No, but predictable and a comfortable night it was for City overall last night. Next we turn our attention to Aston Villa, and after making their first signing of the transfer window yesterday in the form of bringing in Philippe Coutinho on loan from Barcelona, could they be about to make their second signing? If reports are to be believed, they emerged yesterday that Villa are apparently interested in signing Yves Bissouma from Brighton. Currently, Bissouma is away at the African Cup of Nations, but with 18 months left on his contract, of course, speculation has begun to stir once again regarding his future, and it seems Aston Villa have made their interest known. The midfielder has been tipped to make the step up in his career and join, with all due respect to Brighton, of course, a bigger club. And in the summer, of course, he was linked with the likes of both Arsenal and Liverpool, but nothing materialised. Fast forward to today, and with his contract, like I say, expiring at the end of next season, it's a question of whether Brighton want to try and tempt him to re-sign with the club, cash in on him whilst they have the chance, or maybe run down his contract to the final day. Seagulls manager Graham Potter has stated that he expects all of his squad to remain intact in this transfer window and that there will be no outgoings of any kind at the Amex Stadium. But of course, what he says and what he does and what happens are very different things indeed. That can definitely change in an instant, and whether it's now or in the summer or even beyond the summer, the Bissouma saga will be very interesting to keep your eye on indeed going forward. And finally, to a very interesting story that definitely caught my eye yesterday, and it is revolving around one Gareth Bale. The Real Madrid and Wales winger is out of contract in the summer at the end of the season, and it's being said that he's seriously considering retiring from football altogether if Wales do not qualify for this year's World Cup. Wales have to contend in this kind of mini tournament thing that they've got going on right now, where they'll be facing a host of teams to find out who will be going to the World Cup in Qatar at the end of the year. They'll first face Austria, then they'll face either Scotland or Ukraine for a place in the finals. So it's no easy task, but of course, as we know, it could have been a lot worse for Wales. The draw could have been a lot worse for them. If Wales managed to qualify, the 32-year-old could return to the Premier League or maybe even drop down to the Championship. But with this news seemingly coming out with the World Cup seemingly being his only motivation to play football, it seems, and with his age being 32 and everything that goes along with being Gareth Bale, of course, and what we know of him in the past, it would seem like he would only stick around for a season or so before leaving the club altogether, seemingly deciding to then retire, because it seems, like I say, the World Cup is his only motivation to play football going forward. It'll be interesting to see what the future holds for Gareth Bale, but I'd assume that in his perfect world, it will be Wales go to the World Cup, he represents Wales in Qatar, he then retires at the end of next season, and then spends his remaining years on a golf course in Wales enjoying his retirement. That's just the way I see it anyway. But as I always say, these are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of any of the news stories that I've talked about in this video? What do you make of the Adama Traore situation at Wolves? What do you make of Mike Ashley possibly taking over at Derby in the Championship? What do you make of last night's FA Cup game between Manchester City and Swindon, in which Pep Guardiola's side came out as 4-1 winners? What do you make of the Yves Bissouma situation? Do you see him moving in this transfer window, or do you see him moving at all in the very near future? And of course, what do you make of Gareth Bale, this whole Gareth Bale saga? Very interesting story developing with him. I'd love to know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, whatever you want to call it, down below in the comment section, because I'm sure it'll all make for interesting reading. Otherwise, hit that like button on the way out if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new or want to see more content like this. Both things always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch, this has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see you all again soon in another video.